In a quiet village nestled between towering mountains, there lived a young boy named Arin. The village had a legend about the highest peak in the region, known as the Mountain of Dreams. It was said that anyone who reached the top would be granted a single wish, a wish that could change their life forever. For years, many had tried to climb the mountain, but none had succeeded. The journey was treacherous, with unpredictable weather, sheer cliffs, and thick forests. Most villagers believed the legend was nothing but a myth, a tale to inspire hope, but not Arin. Ever since he was a child, he dreamed of reaching the top and making a wish that would bring peace and prosperity to his struggling village. At 18, Arin decided it was time to attempt the climb. The villagers laughed and discouraged him. "No one has ever made it. You'll waste your time or worse, lose your life," they said. Even Arin's closest friends told him to reconsider, but Arin was determined. He packed his bag with supplies, said goodbye to his family, and set off early one morning. The first few days were easier than expected. The lower slopes of the mountain were lush and green, and the weather was calm. Arin felt confident, thinking maybe the climb wasn't as difficult as everyone had said. But soon the real challenges began. The path became steeper and the trees disappeared, leaving only rocky terrain. Harsh winds howled through the narrow passages, and thick fog rolled in, making it difficult to see. One day, as he was navigating a particularly steep cliff, his foot slipped, and he barely managed to hold on to a ledge. His hands trembled, but he pulled himself up. For a moment he considered turning back. The climb was far more dangerous than he had imagined. Exhausted, he sat down and thought about what the villagers had said. "Maybe they were right," he muttered. But as he rested, a memory flashed in his mind, his village, his family, and the struggles they faced. Arin reminded himself why he was on this journey in the first place. He wasn't climbing just for himself, but for everyone he loved. He couldn't give up now. The next few days were even more grueling. A powerful storm hit, forcing Arin to take shelter in a cave for 2 days. His supplies began to dwindle, and doubt crept into his mind again. But every time he thought about giving up, he would look toward the peak, hidden behind the clouds, and something inside him stirred. Hope. He pushed on. Weeks passed, and finally Arin reached the base of the summit, the last and most dangerous stretch. The air was thin, and every step felt like it would be his last. His body ached, and he could barely breathe. But with sheer determination, he kept moving. After what felt like an eternity, Arin reached the top. The sky was clear, and from the summit he could see the entire valley below. His village looked like a tiny dot in the vast landscape. Tears welled up in his eyes, not from exhaustion, but from the overwhelming sense of accomplishment. He stood there, breathing in the cold, crisp air, and for a moment he forgot about the legend. He didn't need a magical wish. The real treasure was not at the peak, but in the climb itself. It was the obstacles he had overcome, the persistence he had shown, and the strength he had discovered within himself. Arin realized that the journey had changed him forever. With renewed purpose, Arin descended the mountain and returned to his village. The villagers were amazed. They had never expected him to succeed. But more than that, Arin had brought something back far more valuable than a wish. He had brought back hope. His story inspired others to pursue their dreams, no matter how impossible they seemed. The journey toward your dreams is often filled with challenges, obstacles, and moments of doubt, but it's the persistence, the lessons learned, and the inner strength discovered along the way that truly matter. Sometimes the most valuable reward isn't at the top, it's the person you become in the process.